What's up, everybody? It's Ace coming back with the episode 3 of the Heal Me podcast. This one is going to be titled "The Distractions," and these are just steps or insights into what's been working for me. You know what I mean? In no way try to take it as I don't want to be no life coach or I have all the answers. This is just me telling my story as I'm going through this healing process and the required steps that I've been taking to find the answers that I feel I need. And outside of the podcast, I do be giving people advice, that call me and like, what is your insight on this? And, well, this is what's going on. What do you feel that is? Oh, well, that's just trauma. Well, that's just distractions. Because if you look at it like this and this and this, and it'll start to make sense. So that's why I started this based off of my song, like I said in the introduction, because I feel like a lot of people need healing. A lot of people need to put away the distractions. A lot of people need to reflect on their trauma, but we run from it. And we get these distractions and we find validation in it. So, there's many things that can be distracting during your healing process. And it's crazy how if you sit back and really see what's going on, you'll notice that you didn't have these issues when you weren't trying to do good. when you're not trying to fix yourself or reflect on some trauma. Now everybody wants to go out. Now everybody wants to hit your phone. Now everybody wants to. Nobody asks if you're okay. Just where's the party at? You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say, like, if you see somebody like getting wasted, like on a constant, like say on social media, we can talk about that first. Social media. You can tell if you're really looking, but if you're looking like out of lust or if you're looking like out of just ignorance or really what these platforms are used for, it's not real. None of it is real. Facebook it's all a fake reality because it is like the cybernet. It is the matrix, as they call it, and we plug in and we become somebody different. We can be whoever we want to be, really. We can change the way we look. We can change if we're happy, if we're sad, and we put it out there and it ain't real at all. I could post right now, T.Ace feels ecstatic listening to, anything, anything. And people are going to be like, oh, well, he's happy. And really, I'm dying on the inside. It's a distraction to escape reality all day. Snapchat. And most of it, and then it stems to like where the women now are selling content. And then you try to get at them, and they're not even really like that. They're just doing it for the money. It's fake. They're not really, prostitutes, or they're not really in that lifestyle. They just do it for the money. But how you're portraying yourself to the world, that's what I'm saying. And nobody wants to be themselves, especially on social media. And so if, like, say you're going through a heartbreak or you going through something mentally and you don't take the time to sit back and reflect on why things didn't work out between you and this other person, you just go straight to the social media, go straight to Instagram, go straight to Snapchat, go straight to Facebook, and you just post a picture of yourself, men and females. I've seen it both ways, and I think, and I've been a part of it too. I'm sitting there catfishing trying to portray myself that I'm all right and I'm this big party animal, and all these females just were hitting me up. And it's just like, instead of fixing what I had screwed up with the person, but I would sit there and just post on my story that I'm drinking and I'm partying and it's a big party and I'm so great without you and my life is great without you, and I was dying. And I'm getting all these messages like, well, when are we gonna hang out? And then instead of staying by yourself, you want to fill that void. And so we go and meet up with these people. And not staying true to yourself, we sit there and we start talking to all these people that been messaging us. Even if you're in a relationship and they were messaging you the whole time, they have no respect for you. If they can see, that's why I put the conclusion too of, you all day you can put on this social media that you're in a relationship, posting pictures together with your other person. To these people, it don't matter because they do not respect you, they do not respect themselves, and they do not respect your other person, because these platforms are all basically used nowadays as dating websites. They are. So it's like, if you still got your profile up, don't matter if it says in a relationship or not, to these people, you're available. That's why I've come to the conclusion that if I ever decide to be in another relationship, me and my significant other will remove ourselves completely from that cybernet, and not allow anybody into what's going on in our relationship, good or bad. Even if we only do post the good, people still do not respect the boundaries, because where these social media platforms have gone, they're just dating websites. They are. And people still contact these people that are in relationships because they do not respect that person. They do not respect that woman in a relationship. They do not respect that man. And then if the people that are in the relationships start messaging these people while in relationship, or you just separated and you barely deleted all the pictures, you do not respect yourself. And that's where the distraction comes in. If your relationship just failed, or it's on a break, 2 years, 1 year, 6 months, and all of a sudden, oh, well, we got into a fight, it's over. Bing, bing, bing. That's what I started saying. Bing, 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 bing. Because that's the Snapchat chirp. That's the Facebook ding. And you just start answering everybody. Then that's what you wanted to do all along. Unless you just got toxic ways. But I have yet to see that work out for anybody. Because now you're just showing what type of person you are. Instead of sitting back. That's why I feel like relationships back in the day, if you ever separated, and that's why it worked, because there was less distraction. There really was. Of course, infidelity and all that was always around back in the day, but the distractions weren't as easily consumed as they are today. It's not as much normalized as it is today. Because like I said, you get into a fight with your partner, what's the first thing? Even if you're married, what's the first thing? And it's mostly like, it could be anybody. I don't want to give no gender out or nothing. I'm just speaking from my experience. From mostly all my relationships. You piss your girl off, and what's the first thing they do? They start posting online to start getting all those hearts and all those likes to make their man mad. What type of maturity is that? But like I said, if those platforms weren't available during your relationship, we wouldn't have these issues. You're causing problems. But social media is causing problems, and they're just doing what they have to make a business, and then we take it and flip it and use it to our toxic advantage. But like I was saying, so back in the day, I put to the conclusion, it's like if people got into a fight, couples got into a fight, married people got into a fight, what do they usually do? Like I'm talking about a major fight. If they don't sit there and try to work it out as adults, and it's like we need some space, whatever, oh, I'll go to my mom's, I'll go to my dad's type deal. And they sit and they reflect it. And you go those days without talking to your person, this person that you were so used to, this person that you love, for real. We just had a fight, we had a disagreement, whatever, and you sit there in that time out. That's why I come to the conclusion of the time out. When we were children, they put us in the corner. You put us in, you got to go to time out. You got to sit in the corner, and you were supposed to sit there and reflect on what you did. But you always had that little buddy or somebody, the distraction. Hey, man, messing with you while you're in the corner. And so you start to pay attention to them instead of what you need to do to fix yourself so you don't end up back in time out. It's the distraction coming, and people don't even know what they're doing, whatever. They just see it as an opportunity for them. So the distractions come when you're supposed to take this time to reflect on the trauma. Well, why do I act that way? Well, why do I get physical? Well, why do I yell? Why do I have so much animosity towards my person, towards my friend? What's going on with me? I need help. I need to go find some answers. But like I said, if we can just post a picture online and here comes all this group of people coming and tell us how beautiful we are, but really we dying on the inside. Instead of posting like for real, like, hey, is anybody having issues with their significant other? How do y'all address it? Because I really love this person and I want to work it out with them. But nobody ever does that. Nobody's really staying true to themselves. We go to these toxic ways, or we start answering all these messages. Well, you left me, we were broken up. Then why you coming back still? If you already got all them guys, if you already got all them girls, you're already going on dates, the second day we've been separated, then I really meant nothing to you. This is nothing. We need to walk away from this. This is all just a waste of time. Because, it's forever over here. But if you playing games, or you giving into your distractions, because that's all it is. It's not forever. You playing a game, because we had time together. We did years together. And all of a sudden now, instead of sitting in your time out so we could fix each other and really be with each other because we love each other, because this is what it comes with, now you're just giving into all these distractions of the world, the distractions of society. Instead of sitting in time out, it's easier just to give in and find somebody new. And we fall victim to it because it's not real. And I'll lead into that too, because it's like nowadays it's like we don't make nobody work for anything, including the children. I'm guilty of this too. And that's why we don't take care of nothing, including our relationships, including ourselves. We don't take care of it because we didn't have to earn it. It comes down to the whole intercourse, sex thing. Nowadays women, nowadays men, we have no requirements in order to give ourselves to somebody. We just, I'm in a fight with my ex right now. We're separated, but it ain't never like that. We run into the next person looking for comfort, and they tell us everything we want to hear, and we're being played the whole time. Oh, you're beautiful. You don't deserve that. You deserve to be treated like a queen. And so then they take this female out, and then what are they doing? They're having sex already. So how does this man look at this female? How does this female look at this man? But now they're emotionally tied together, and then they stay seeing each other after that. Now there's kids involved. Now there's it's all really messed up. And it's like, well, I think I like you, but do I even know you? We had sex on the first date. I didn't have to work for anything. And that's where I feel like, but if we sit and take time for ourselves, and it's like, okay, if you did that in your last relationship and you're doing it again now, using somebody to get over somebody, to try to get emotionally tied to somebody so you can lose that emotion for your past person instead of really just sitting back and looking at yourself, but you fell victim to this new distraction because it was just a distraction. So you didn't have to sit and think about your ex person. You wouldn't have to go through those emotions and realize, man, this is love and I'm going to fight for it. But you just post a picture and now you're already under somebody. It's the distractions that are real bad. It's the same thing with alcohol. Instead of sitting and reflecting, it's the same thing with alcohol and drugs. Let's put them together because alcohol is a drug. I've been to enough meetings and it is a drug, and it'll mess with your brain. It'll mess with everything. And the drugs too. You could sit there and instead of reflecting on what happened, how it can be prevented, we pick up that bottle and we forget it all. That wall in our brain that suppresses all the memories, it comes down, and then there we are losing our cool because we're damaged. But we're not trying to figure out why we're damaged, how to fix the damage. We just want to drown it. Or we want to fill it in with the drugs, numb it. That's what they're saying, it's numbing. But we really need to feel it. That way, once we get past it, we won't want to put ourselves through that again. But we're distracted by a substance. And then with that substance comes more consequences. I had reached a DWI. I obtained a DWI last year. Yeah, at the beginning of last year. And it all stemmed from me and my ex. We had a big fight, whatever. She took off. And I did what I knew best. Because that's what I was doing back then. Instead of sitting there and reflecting on it. And then maybe calling her and like, yo, you want to, let's talk this out, whatever. So she would run to her distraction and I'd run to my distraction. And there I am. I fell asleep at a stop sign. I thank God every day that I didn't hit nobody. I didn't kill nobody. I was asleep at a stop sign. Passed out. Wasted. And I got a DWI along with a gun charge. But if I was just at home where I was supposed to be, sitting and reflecting on it, on the issues, seeing the red flags on both ends and cutting the bullshit out. But the distractions, it's so accessible. Alcohol is so accessible. I don't gotta go find nobody. All I gotta find is a 7-Eleven. I gotta find a Stripes. It's accessible. Especially if it's just like if I know people that drink, I know who to call. Same with the drugs. And if they're all over my Facebook too and they're partying shit, I'm pulling up. I'm going through some things. I'm just going through it. But I need to get through it, or else if I go to this substance, if I go to this distraction, I'm never going to get through it. It's going to keep happening. I need to spend some time by myself and get off that social media so I don't got to see it. Because then you could say like the old cravings come back. Because even like when you were single, you were racking up a bunch of people in your DMs. But that's just a damaged person too, and I can get into that later. But so that's what you fall victim to as soon as you get out of this separation with this person that you proclaim to love. You fall victim to hitting those same people back up. Talk. Well, let me answer them. They've been messaging me. Let me see how he's doing. Let me see how she doing. It's like all the rules of the relationship go out the window. But it's like it never really meant nothing to you, or we weren't raised with no morals, but we were. the social media, the distractions keep us distracted from that. Because it's like I'm not like this way. We're not like this way. But it's so accessible because it's right there in the palm of your hand. So during this time of I think like 6 months, I've been separated, but it's only been close to 2 months now that I have not been sexually active with my ex. And I just been reflecting, and this is what's been working for me. And I've been staying off of social media. I get on like once a week, something like that, if I need to like buy some music equipment or some used music equipment, let me put it like that. Or I need to post these podcasts that I've been releasing or some music that's been released. I'll post it. I'll stay on for 24 hours and I just get off. I disappear because I'm not okay, you know what I mean? And I know it. That's just me being true to myself. Because if I stay on, what's going to happen? Here come the DMs. Or I'll start seeing people go out. Or I'll start missing a female's physical touch. But that ain't fair to the next person. If I'm still longing or I still remember, that's what it is. You know, you remember somebody, you get used to somebody, and then you go into that next relationship treating them like that's somebody, whether it be sexual. You know, that's why they say a woman's heart is a sea of secrets, because they don't actually really heal. They just replace you. And I've fallen victim to it. If you listen to the trauma, episode 2 of the trauma, you know, I get involved with these females, but really they're longing for their ex-person, their ex-lover, because I was just a distraction. Instead of trying to make it work with that person or taking the time to love yourself, you just find somebody new. And now we're leading that new person on. And that's not fair. And that's why I've gotten into like two, not altercations, but like discussions about that song by Russ I mentioned in the trauma, where he's saying like, please stay by my side while I'm working on myself. But at some point, it's like, why are you working on yourself? Why you get involved? Why would we get involved with somebody else if we know we're not okay? Because that's not okay to the next person. To drag them down with you, especially if it's a healed person, you gonna mess them up if they let you. If we know we're not okay, then take that time to yourself. Find yourself. Be yourself. That's my biggest message, man. That's all I've been doing these days is just going back to like the 2000s and listening to music from then. Because at that time, you know, my head was different. Going back to my childhood, listening to music from my childhood, watching movies from my childhood. I sit with my children and I watch those movies. And I tell them this is what I watched when I was a kid, or this is what me and Theo John used to watch when we were kids, and they're interested because they need our interaction. They need interaction with their parents, or else they're gonna fall victim to the distractions and distracted themselves from really knowing themselves. Because on social media, we can be whoever we want to be. And my daughter's already involved in social media. And I had a big conversation with her yesterday about it. Because it's like bothering her head. And she feels like some girls are trying to fight her or whatever. Or they don't like her and then her head just starts racing. And I told her, you know, that could be fake, right? Somebody's just bored. That could be your friends that did that. And they were just bored and let's mess with Elena. And they did it and they sent it to you, whatever. And now your head is racing. I said, unless it's right there in front of your face and it's confronting you face to face, don't worry about it because it ain't real. Not at all. And that's why I stay off social media. I only use it for what I need it for. And it ain't to portray my life in any type of way. Not anymore. Because I was like that. I would post on my stories just to see if my ex was watching me still. And she was. She would come back 8 months later after jumping into the next relationship, come back, and she told me, I was watching your stuff every day. So you were never over me. But instead, you were in a whole nother relationship, and that's why that relationship failed. Instead of being by yourself or coming to me, and I could have came to you, and I was guilty of it too. I was. Instead of trying to work it out, being adults, but we have so much distractions from keeping us from doing what it is that we really want to do. We could sit and we could write books about ourselves. People that love to write books, read a book, go to the library, read a book, do a podcast, go out to the park, go run, but instead we there on the phone. It's a distraction from knowing who we are. Be more involved in our children's lives, but we're steady there watching our ex's Facebook. It's true, man. And then they post something to try to get under your skin because they know you still watching. And then you post something and it's just like, how old are we? Like, you know what I'm saying? Can we just be together and work this shit out? You know? And that's what it says, like, and then that social media will help you get to that new distraction and that involves a new person. Well, I'm already seeing somebody else. Well, where the hell did y'all meet? Oh, Snapchat, Facebook. Well, were y'all talking the whole time we were in a relationship? And it be like that sometimes. Because that all stems from there's no respect. They don't respect themselves and they didn't respect you. They didn't respect the relationship. None of them did. You, her, the new guy, and vice versa. You know, twist the roles the way you need to, you know? And that's why I say, like, if you fighting and you with that person, like, we in a relationship and my girl start fucking talking to somebody while we're in a relationship just because she mad, how come she has access to do that? There's got to be some rules. There's got to be some grounds. You got to get off them dating sites. Oh, it's not a dating site. It's just I need friends to talk to. Then that's an insecure person. That's a damaged person. That's why I've come to my boundaries. I'm setting my boundaries for myself. Like when I meet somebody new, you know, they ain't going to be on no social media because that's a damaged person. Unless they what are they posting? What are you looking for? Well, I just do it because I need people to talk to. Well, how many people are you talking to? Because the way I look at that now, if you're talking to someone, they know you. We've been talking. Oh, okay, well, then that man has put in a lot of work to get to know you. I'm not getting in the way of that. You need to stay where you are known. Because it sounds like and if y'all are, you know, already having intercourse, then you're emotionally tied to that person. Who am I to get in the way of that? And then you're going to come over here still emotionally tied to him. We get into a fight a month into our relationship. Who you going to run back to? You got to find someone that hasn't been sexually active at least until they've unlearned that other person, lost those emotional ties to that person. Because as soon as you get into a fight, into your 1 month relationship, because y'all had sex on the first night, did not get to know each other, because you didn't have to work for it, there's no respect. You're not taking care of it because you didn't have to earn it. So you get into that fight a month into your relationship. Here we go running back to the people that we're still emotionally tied to, because it doesn't take no month, no 2 months, no 3 months. It could be 6 months. It could take years and you're still not over that ex. So what are you doing with this distraction leading them on? And then we sitting back and we wondering why our relationships don't work. these distractions are really bad. Like I was talking to a buddy, and he's been seeing a counselor, and his ex was seeing that same counselor, and so she was taking the classes at the beginning of the separation, and then come to find out she's already in another relationship. She stopped taking the classes because that new guy does what she needs, makes her feel like nothing is wrong with her. But how come all your life, none of your relations work? There's something wrong with you. And that's why we meet these other damaged people. But we'll never know what's going on with us if we don't take that time. If we're easily distracted. She got hit with a distraction and it captured her. And then now she's back on the cycle. I think that's going to be my next one. My next episode is going to be called The Cycles. Because we're all on cycles. Until we do something different. Until we take a different route. Until we take that time to ourselves and find ourselves. We're going to stay on the cycle. If you start to notice that it happens over and over, and we sit back and we're like, why did this happen to me again? It's a cycle. Because you got hit with a distraction while trying to reflect on the trauma. While trying to find yourself. And you're doing good. You're doing good. But I feel like, evil entities, the devil, whatever you want to call it, bad energy, doesn't want us to find ourselves, doesn't want us to find our purpose, because we were born good, we just learned some bad shit. We got morals. Then we met a damaged person, that person destroyed us. And we tell ourselves we need to change. You get hit with a distraction, something that you ain't, or something that was missing, that you felt was missing. We get validation from the fake life of social media. And we fall victim to it. Not really catching on to what's happening because, this new person that does not know me at all saw my Facebook, saw my Instagram, saw me on Snapchat, and now we're together having sex. And we think it's love. We're emotionally tied. But how long has that person not had sex with the person they were having sex with before you? Now you're in a love triangle and don't even know it. Got third parties all over the place. And then you find out they doing that. So in your head, it's okay for you to do it. Now you go start seeing somebody else. And then they're in a relationship. It's all messed up. But social media, this modern age, they've normalized it. And it don't feel good to me. I don't know if it feels good to everybody else. But like I said, this is just me telling my story. This is just me telling me what I go through every day. And I wouldn't never had the drive or the epiphany, the breakthrough to do this if I wasn't by myself. If I wasn't alone by myself every day. If I wasn't alone with my thoughts. If I wasn't in time out. Not giving into the distractions. Because them distractions is lethal, man. They really are. Especially for me, it's that alcohol. I got faced with it last night. I chose not to. I get off of work like at 1, sometimes 1 a.m. I think I got off early like at 10:30, and I told myself, man, it's early and I'm in the city. You know what I mean? And it's just like my head tell me, it's like, shoot, the bar's still open. And I have to tell myself, nah, man, that ain't you no more. Because if I go, I'm going to take a shot. And once that first shot settle in, I want more. And most likely there's going to be a female there. Why is that female there? She's damaged. You don't want that. So the best thing to do is not put yourself in that situation. And there I am now with this new female, with my vice, the alcohol. And she distracted me from getting better because I think, I've already done so much good. I've been a little over a month without somebody. without a physical touch, without conversation. It's been a little over a month. That's what I used to tell myself that all the time when me and my ex would get into fights and we separate. And I go on my little journey by myself, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months. And I used to tell myself, like, I'm okay now. I can take her back. I can take her back and we can fix this. But it had nothing to do with no, we were both a problem because we got trauma. And when we met each other, we were going through our own things. But we gave each other validation that we were okay. And we're not. Nobody's okay. And of course, we didn't make each other work for nothing. I didn't make her work or earn my presence or earn me, or earn a conversation. I didn't make her earn it. I didn't make her earn the sex, and the other way. She didn't make me earn anything, so we didn't take care of it. It didn't last. That's why nothing lasts. Because we're all just damaged looking for a distraction, and then we find it. And we find a new person, and we don't make them earn nothing. And so they don't take care of us. That's why I say if you could just take some time, get off that social media, get away from the distractions and find yourself. Once you really start to find yourself, it'll be hard for people to have access to you. It'll be hard for us to give ourselves to people that we don't know if they deserve us. But that all stems to the whole, you gotta love yourself. Give yourself some time. Give yourself some time. Make somebody earn you, and they ain't gonna mess that up. They're not. Find out who you're dealing with. Is it just a distraction? If it's just a distraction, you're looking for conversation, I don't see nothing wrong with that, I guess. But you're already having sex with somebody and you're already emotionally tied. You're already back on the cycle. You had to look back and how did you get involved, or how did you fall victim to the situation that you're in now that you're looking for a distraction? Are you doing it again? Get off social media. Find yourself. Get off. Stop going out and getting drunk, getting on the drugs, all that stuff. Spend some time for yourself. Learn yourself. That way you know what you like and what you don't like. And that's when you won't tolerate no disrespect. You'll find value in yourself. I think we all need to start becoming high-valued males and females. Because like I said, if you going out with a female and she gives it up on the first night type deal, she doesn't value herself. And you don't value yourself because you're doing it too, bro. And that's where everybody's messed up. For real. That's what I've come to the conclusion of, because I sit with myself with these thoughts every day. I stay away from the distractions. I only need either people trying to better themselves or healed people around me so I can learn how to heal. And I'm just going on this road because I want to be different. I want to be myself. That's why I think my life's a little different. Like I said, when I was a child, I was overweight, so I didn't experience a lot of things that a lot of people have experienced until now. And like I've had, I guess, an insight on both sides of the fence. And which one feels better? I have to ask myself. Not hooking up with random people. I'm made for one person, and I know that. Because one person is enough. I'm made to be great, as I feel like we all are. We just get distracted from finding that. We all got a purpose. And this is all just distractions. The social media, all that, it could be used as tools to better ourselves. But what do we put out? Because it's cooler. or because we see it. We see other people doing it and they look happy doing it. Are they? Now it's just monkey see, monkey do. Now you ain't being yourself. You trying to be like that person because it looks like they got it all together because of social media. 5 years down the road, we find out that person killed themselves. Why? Or you see them couples, man. That's what really be blowing my mind. Them couples that they be doing them shorts or them reels or them TikToks, whatever. Come to find out, man, they were beating each other up the whole time and then they kill each other. Why? Most likely because they posting them videos and somebody's commenting that somebody's so hot. Oh man, look at your girl. Now you letting everybody into your relationship. If you're not mentally strong, or y'all ain't on a common ground, or something's lacking in that female's life, then she's damaged. Something's lacking in that male's life and he falls victim to a fan, then he's damaged. He's insecure. And the same with the female. You can't be involved in that life. And that's where I'm getting. I don't fall victim to no fans or nothing like that. If you love me, you don't want to be physical with me. You love me because of my art, then that's a fan. Your music helped me. Your podcast helped me. Your positivity helped me. Then that's what it's here for. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to be sexually. I'm not here to be a distraction to your mental trauma. I'm not here to be a distraction to your healing process. And that's what I'm saying. If you can just catch on, if somebody's trying to do that with you, then there's something lacking in their life. I want to get to know you. I want to see what you can bring to the table. And that's male and female. I don't want you to be a distraction. I want you here forever. So I'm willing to wait forever because I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get the pussy. I'm going to get the... my fault. I'm going to get that intercourse with you. And it's worth the wait. It really is. Because I've had the meaningless sex. And that it doesn't feel good. Call it what you want. Call me what you want, man. But that meaningless sex, it feels like nothing. Like, what is this? Even if that woman, you can tell if a woman's already emotionally tied to somebody else. That's how they know. And they can tell with the men, too. That's how women know when a man's cheating. Or a man know when a woman's already seeing somebody else. Because that emotion's gone. That you're already emotionally tied to somebody else. And these are just damaged people. You got to unlearn them ways if you want peace. I saw another video where a doctor was talking about if you had multiple sex partners, you're borderline a psychopath. And I believe that because you don't know who you are. You have so many sexual partners that you start to become them. Now you're losing yourself. That's why I say, shoot, I'm made for one person and I'm good with that. I'll build you up, you build me up. I ain't trying to fight everybody else's energy. But that's just me. And so that's why I say, like, once I got some boundaries now. And so once I get to where I do want to be with somebody, I know I'm not ready. But when I do want to be with somebody, there's going to be some red flags that I'm going to be looking for. And I'm going to let it come to me. I know I ain't going to find her on social media. Because she'll be too busy doing what she loves for herself. Like I was telling my buddy, he was talking about, I guess he started talking to a girl or something like that. I can't remember too much, but, or his buddy has, yeah. So he has a friend. And like him and his girl, they just had a kid. But she doesn't want to give she's like probably got postpartum or something, you know what I mean? But she don't want to do no sexual stuff with him. And so he's like, man, I'm ready already to just go get it somewhere else. So right there, it tells me that ain't your woman. You do not love that woman. because you're already willing to go get it somewhere else. You're willing to replace what? The sex. So that's all it was with that woman. And now there's a child involved. And then I think he was telling me about another friend where his girl was like on the dating sites or whatever. She was on something and she was like, well, I just need some friends. Well, that's a damaged person, brother. Because what is she going to do if she's out there looking for friends on social media, as she say? What is she going to do when you're working 12 hours a day? She going to go look for that companionship. And that's why I say my next person or my new boundaries or whatever ain't going to be on no social media, because they're going to be loving themselves, knowing themselves. Because if you need friends and you need to get on social media to find them, then I don't think you know who you are. Or you can't be alone. And it's not about being alone. You can't be by yourself. Because during that time while you're by yourself, you could be doing something that you love for you. But now you're looking for a distraction. And what's the easiest place to get it? In the palm of your hand. The distractions are deadly, man. They're real deadly. And they're not real most of the time. It's just all tests to see if you're ready. To see, if you're ready. If you're ready to move up to that next level in life. Or you're going to fall victim to it. Because it'll look good, but everything glitter ain't gold. It'll be good for a little bit. And then you fall victim to the cycle that you're on. What's your cycle? And then most likely it ends up worse. It ends up worse. The result of that cycle, that new cycle, will end up worse than the way the first cycle ended, or the other cycle ended, because we on cycles all the time. But yeah, if we can sit back and reflect, stay away from the distractions, you'll find yourself. And that's all. As you know, if you've been listening to my past 2 episodes, then you'll know, like, that's basically my message. Because, I mean, that's just me, though. Like I say, a lot of people, they got jobs, they got lives that they're already accustomed to. And if you're happy, you're happy. Then if it works, it works. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't like change. But I just want to be happy, you know what I mean? I want to find myself. I want to be true to myself because I love myself, type deal. And a lot of people don't know that. They were taught different. And I'm just trying to rewire it. The people that are listening and people that follow me, people that love me. A lot of people have been telling me, like, you telling your story, that takes a lot of balls. And I don't see nothing wrong with it, though. I don't see like it's like a big achievement. I just been through some stuff, and a lot of people been through the same, but they've been through worse. And they just need answers to why things go the way they go. And how can they fix it? It's going to take some work. And you got to unlearn a lot. You got to be different. You got to get rid of them distractions. For real. Like my buddy's girl. She was doing good. She was on the right road, and I guess either it got too hard or maybe it was easier. But I asked him, I said, did she do that with you? How did y'all's relationship start? She was going through a breakup, right? And she found you. And a month later, she got news that her ex-boyfriend was in another relationship, and she was heartbroken. So you were the distraction, brother. Now she's got a new distraction to get over you. And you got to let it play its course. Because now she's back on the cycle. But yeah, I guess I'm going to go ahead and start to close it out now. Episode 3. I hope this shed a little bit of light on how it is today in the world. if anybody's looking for a way out, if anybody wants change, if anybody wants to be different, if anybody wants to be themselves, you know. And all I ask too is like, if you know somebody really going through it, and I think a lot of people going through it, and it's easier to just find somebody new. It's easier just to pick up that bottle. It's easier just to start having sex with somebody else. It's easier to pick up them drugs. But it feels a whole lot better to find yourself. Find yourself, be yourself, and you'll find happiness.
I'm gonna call this one Heal Me.
You spend nights in the club and you be around people. You tired of taking drugs, tired of feeling evil. You let these men touch you, said you tired of being single. Said you wanna be submissive cause you tired of feeling equal. You want something different, maybe come and raise some kids with me. Tired of that small town mentality, you want some vitality. Relationships fatality, you see me go for mine and you say that you proud of me. You wanna know how I got so much drive. All the heartbreaks, all the wasted time. It's all about where you set your mind.